Good afternoon, because as you can see, I'm still at home. Um, I was going to write, for those of you who know, you all know that I like to write, and writing is what I do. I don't have good penmanship, but I love writing and stuff like that. But anyways, I was gonna do this personal to someone that I was engaging in conversation with last night and earlier this morning via Messenger, and I decided to just do this publicly because maybe there's someone out there that needs to hear it, other than this one particular person. In 2005, I had my second son, and when he was about 16 months, I went to the 8 Mile Rock Clinic where I was the nurse. I did a routine pap smear, and she said, when she called me in there, she was an Asian nurse, and she said, "Oh, I see cancer cells." And not knowing or not being familiar, all you need to do is hear cancer, and it triggers, the wrong message, So right there, I get so scared, and I said, you know what? I'm going to seek second opinion. So I went to the private clinic at Lucayan Medical to see Dr. Leon. And when I went to Dr. Leon, when you hear the C word, you just need urgent answers like now, like yesterday. So when I went there, I saw Dr. Leon, and he said, "Okay, Agnes, I'm gonna perform something that is called a colposcopy on you. It is where they clip a piece of your cervix and send it for testing." And he did that. At that time, my ex-husband was with me, and it was 3 weeks of waiting after I did that. Oh my God, the longest 3 weeks of my life. And I had asked my ex-husband to not share it with anyone. For some reason, I don't know why, but we always try to protect the family, and for the first time, some of them are just knowing this as well. And we did that. And when the test came, and every time I look at my baby, I would cry, because I'm like, Lord, I'm only in my mid-30s, and I'm going to be leaving my child's life so soon, and he's only a baby, And 3 weeks came, the test result came, there was active cancer cells. But what Dr. Leon did, he explained to me, that, a woman go through different changes and stuff in her body. So anyways, I had to take at least 3 to 4 pap smears. I did 2 pap smear in 1 month. When it came back, it was there, and I had concern, and I said, what are we going to do about it? He said, we'll burn it or freeze it if it's still there. So within 6 months, I had already done 4 pap smears. And after that first one that had came and it showed that it was there, and he said if the next one come and it's the same, they're going to burn it or freeze it. When the next one came, it was nothing. When the next one came after that, nothing. Then he scheduled me to come every 6 months. Nothing. To God be the glory. And then in 2008, I had a breast scare. So I went back again. One day I was working, and I had to just take, excuse my manners to some of you all, I had to loosen my bra, and my left, breast, it was just hurting, and I went to him, and he did the mammogram, and another long wait, and that too was just a scare. But last night I told y'all, and even up to 4 this morning, I was talking to an acquaintance, and I told her that she's gonna be okay, and God only gives the battles to the strongest, trust me. And you have to believe and know that you are going to be okay. And Isaiah 53:5 said, by his stripes we are healed. And the Bible doesn't just put things in the Bible because it could. The things are in the Bible because the Bible is made up of the laws of God and what God wants us to know. So when I go and I read that passage, then I get my encouragement from there. But going back to the word, when you hear people say that it's devastating, I don't pity no one with cancer. No one, absolutely no one. I sympathize with them. I pray with them and continue to, be their friend. Because you need all the shoulders in the world, And I say all this to say, when people see you, right, they see the smiles and everything, but they don't know like the storms you had to go through, the storms you weathered in your life. And just because we don't go around carrying our problems on our shoulders doesn't mean that we're exempt or we did not go through anything. Yes, we did, And then I had my third son. I have 3 boys. Strong women have boys. Anyways, my third son, after I had him, I started to hemorrhage. Now you see how much times the devil coming after me, right? So you all know I got some work to do for the Lord, right? Because he been coming after me, so there's something the devil don't want me to be on this earth for. But buddy, God done strike you out plenty times, and just like God strike him out plenty times for me, I am trusting in the Lord that he's going to strike him out just as much for you. Because just as I am important to God, you are important to him as well. So when I had my third son, my ex-husband was in the room when I had my third son. And after I had my son, I started to hemorrhage. And I was hemorrhaging so bad. All I know is they was scrambling out of the room and I could feel them stuffing me and they was running in and out of the room. And these were just midwives in the room. And then they started to call the doctor. When I woke back up, I was in a regular in the room. And I was really, really weak. And I remember the nurse coming to me and she said, "Timothy, what happened? You hemorrhaged so much." And I know what hemorrhaging means. Of course, I got to bleed to death, but God was there. So from that, it left me with being anemia. So now a year later, after I had my son, I ended up in the hospital again. I just passed. I literally passed out. I was bleeding, passed out, and they had asked to give me blood transfusion. But because of the myth of so much things of blood transfusion, I turned it down. I didn't take it. And when I went to doctor, I had to go to doctor every 3 months to get like shots and stuff to build back up and stuff like that. Now going through all of that, and then dealing, with now remember being and anemia is very bad. I remember coming home one day and I was just like a couple steps from home. I literally went blind. I couldn't see, and all I remember praying and saying, "Lord, please help me to get on the porch. Because if I get there, I will know how to feel for the door." My God, let me tell you all something. When you see me talk or I saying I live and I going after God, this ain't no joke. I know where God has brought me from. I've experienced just about everything that a human being could possibly experience in this life that could take you out, that could take someone out. That is why, I still have days that I am down and depressed and I stay in bed sometimes. But at the same time, I get up, I pray, I sing, and I laugh at the enemy. because he tried so much times to take me out and just couldn't. He could not take me out, because one thing the enemy was forgetting: you didn't take me out then when I wasn't saved. I grew up in church, but you didn't take me out then. What make you think now that I am serving God that you can take me out now? Last year, I was in a car accident, run into a pole, lose control. That was due to personal situations that I was going through. And I ended up in the hospital, I think it was April last year. I was dealing with it was overwhelming due to panic anxiety attack. And I'm like, this is so much. I literally felt like I was losing my mind, and I met some good people along the way that helped me, through, and I thank God for them. I thank God for those people. So I want to tell you today, I normally write, but it would have been long. Don't give up. Please, don't give up. The fight is hard. The road is long. But let me tell you something. If there was not a purpose for you, you would have been taken out on those first battles. But you were strong, like myself. And don't look at someone and judge them, because you probably might not be able to walk in the shoe that they have walked in or is walking in. All of us were made differently and built differently. All of us weather the storm differently. So not only that, you look at a person's structure and say that, oh, they're tall and strong. Yes, I am tall, 5'9". I am strong. When I look back and see where I've come from, I know that I am strong. And I thank God for all the trials in my life, simply because, and had not it been for God, I would not be sitting here right now doing this. I come to realize sometimes the battles we fight we're not fighting it for ourselves, but we're fighting it for someone. And we have to continue to fight for each other. Continue to be a listening ear. When someone calls you, no matter what time it is, don't look at your phone and suck your teeth. Because maybe at that point, you would be saving someone's life. I'm going to deactivate my Facebook page because I have much things to do, a lot of things I need to get done. But my messenger will remain open. If you need someone to talk to, someone to just listen, I am always available, no matter what time it is. Because I remember plenty times my back was against the wall. Even sometimes today my back is against the wall. But God has put wonderful people in my path that I could go to or call. So to you, my friend, that I spoke to via messenger last night, don't give up. Know that God has built you strong. Know that He has made you ready for this storm. When a baby is born, a baby goes from milk before being put on hard food. Then the baby starts to hold on to things to stand. Then a baby starts to walk. It's a process. Then your baby will grow into full-grown men and women. It is a process that some of us have to go through, and we go through it for others. So, love on each other, continue to pray my strength to grow in the Lord, and I will continue to pray for you, my friend, and anybody else out there that needed to hear an encouraging word. It ain't over until God says it's over. Okay?